News, my lovely, wonderful people. The Middle Belt answers federal government. Benue Fulani colony. Buy land. Don't come and steal the people's land. Go and buy land in the north. Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, and use for your Sabo forest. Middle Belt, President Peju tells federal government, don't come and cause confusion and trouble for us in Benue State. What you are doing is not fair. It's not acceptable in any way. Go and buy land. Go and see how these things are. Don't come here and, and you're doing something else. You want to steal people's land. You want to do whatever you think you can do. That's not the way. You said Benue has become one of the cattle colonies. Is that how it should be? Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Federal government should respect the people. Buy land from the people if need be and form your Fulani colony. Benue Fulani colony, we will provide land for our own. But go and buy land in the north. In Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, and other northern states. Use them for your Sabo forest. Middle Belt Forum President Peju tells federal government. The persistent issue of Fulani herdsmen and the conflict between them and farmers continue to generate a lot in Nigeria. The post of federal government now declaring that Benue is one of the states to be colonized by Fulanis is absurd. This will ignite more controversies and trigger nationwide debates. Dr. Beatrice Pogu, the national president of the Middle Belt Forum, shared his insight on this and asked the federal government to go on and look for areas that they can buy land. There are lots of areas that land can be purchased. Yes, go to Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, other areas where we have large expanse of land and few people, and see what you can do. Buy the land. Don't come and take people's land by force. It's wrong. Don't do that. In response to the continuous proposal of creating Fulani colony in Benue State, Dr. Pogu emphasized a critical aspect of Nigerian governance, land ownership. He stressed that land belongs to the state, not the federal government, and the authority over land is vested on the hands of the governor, who holds it in trust for the people. It's not for the governor. He holds it in trust. He underlined that the federal government should not impose a preference on Benue State when it comes to land use. If the people of Benue State oppose the use and oppose the sales of their land for cattle ranching, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. We know what we are saying. We don't want any issue. Dr. Pogu proposed that the government consider acquiring land in states where such initiatives are more readily acceptable, such as Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, Borno, and even the Sabo forest. These are vast expanse of land that can become, Fulani colony. And everybody knows where the cattle are rare, and people will go there and patronize it. When we know where the markets are, people leave Nigeria to go to Dubai, go to Turkey to buy goods. So people would gravitate to where these things are. We should not do what we are doing now. Don't impose Fulanis on Benue State. You will cause more problem. We don't want this. Furthermore, Dr. Pedros highlighted that the Fulani herders crisis in Nigeria have transited into a real clash now that lives are being taken. In order for these people to get what they want, we cannot satisfy one end and leave the other end to suffer. This is not acceptable in any way at all. So my lovely people, you can see that things are beginning to fall apart and things are becoming really, really, very, very glary. The Vice President Kashim Shettima announced that Benue is one of the states where the Fulanis will begin, have their colony. It named some states in the north and Middle Belt. The only state in the Middle Belt is Benue State. But we know that this is what has continuously caused problem. The people of the Middle Belt do not want Fulanis. They don't want it. They don't want Fulani colonization. They don't want it. However, the federal government will not listen. The federal government, in fact, is making life difficult for the people. And, the president who represents the Middle Belt is saying this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. So every single person must come to reasoning. The vice president cannot continue Buhari's threat on the people. Buhari came in, and when Nigerians thought that change has come, things are going to get better. The first word that came from Buhari's mouth in terms of leadership was Ruga. He said they are going to establish, Ruga, that's a Fulani colony in all the 36 states of the Federation. Nigerians reacted in no small way, and that did not happen. Buhari spent his 8 years trying to bring it in every way, saying they were mapping roads around the country where cattle can be moved up and down. And Benue State has been one of the states that have seriously suffered as a result of what Fulani wants. Again, Tinubu's administration, the vice president, is big on ensuring that this comes to pass. In fact, he's championing the cause. And he has said Benue State is one of the states where, the Fulani cattle, will be, it's really sad because you've not discussed with the people. You've not had discussions in those lines, and the Fulani people have agreed with you and say, okay, no problem. Let's see how we can iron things out together, how we can coexist. Yet you want to impose yourself on them. It's not done. It's not done. The vice president, Kashim Shettima, is taking laws into his hands, and nobody, the state does not belong to the federal government. There is a reason why the law is the way it is. Otherwise, anybody that comes in will do whatever they want to do. It belongs to the state governor, or the state governor holds it in trust for the people. And that's why people vote in. It's called democracy, where they vote in the person they feel they could trust, who could mind these opportunities for them until such a time, okay, that they could, gain access to such a, thing. So it is sad what is really going on in Nigeria, to be quite honest. People are not happy, and they are not missing words at all. They are not happy. The vice president, Kashim Shettima, named states that must be Ruga, encroached. And guess what? Benue happens to be one. And people are saying, if you want land, buy. And if people are ready to sell, let them sell willingly. Don't impose yourself. Don't force yourself on the people by saying you must take this land. Don't do that. You will do more harm than good. So leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Yes, we'll see what the vice president is trying to do. Don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless. Bye for now.